Sometimes I just let the guitar do the talking. I recorded this song with the amazing producer Brent Mayer. I'd done a few recording sessions for Brent playing guitar on some of his projects, and he called me up one day and said, "Hey Joe, I've got this tape machine." And I sold it a few years back, and the fellow who bought it called me back and said, "Hey, do you want this machine back? I'm not really using it as much as I wanted to." And I had never recorded to analog tape before. Of course, this is how so many of my favorite albums, classic albums, were made. So I of course jumped at the opportunity. And then we started at 11 a.m. one day, and it was Brent Mayer and Charles Yinling, he works with Brent, most of the time, I believe. Great recording engineer. And I didn't play them the song before I went in the studio. They just said, "Bring one of your best songs, or a song you want to record." And I knew this song was gonna work because I knew I really wanted to capture it in a solo acoustic performance. So I went in there and I told them what the song was gonna be, just a guitar and vocal. And so they set up the mics, and then they started rolling the tape machine, and I played the song 4 or 5 times, and it took me a few takes to get my voice warmed up. And then we just picked the best take, and that's what you hear. Just one performance. I think we fixed a couple little finger squeak things or something, but just one performance recorded directly to analog tape. And I really enjoyed the experience. Tape sounds amazing. It has this kind of sponginess, this a warmth and a sponginess, and it just feels like you need to do less with plugins and less with outboard gear because the tape just has so much character. So really enjoyed the experience. And a few people said I sound like Paul Simon, a little bit Paul Simon-esque on this song, which is interesting. Of course, I admire Paul a lot. The song I wrote with Gary Nicholson. So this is the 4th track that I wrote with Gary, and we wrote several songs in one day, and I think this was one song of 3 that we wrote on one given day. And Gary had the title, "I Let the Guitar Do the Work." And he mentioned it to me one time, and I came back and I said, "I've had that title in my head, I let the guitar do the talking." And he's like, "Oh, it was originally let the guitar do the work, but I like the guitar do the talking because it kind of has a different connotation." So we just sat there and we kind of weaved together this story. I have a few songs about playing guitar in a bar and there being a girl there. Maybe that's happened a few times. But yeah, it's another one of those songs that just kind of wrote itself. And there's a lot of great songwriters that I collaborate with, but one thing I appreciate about Gary is, he comes from the Guy Clark school. He worked with Guy a lot when Gary first moved to Nashville, and the performance aspect is really important. Having a song that has a performance quality was something that Guy was a master at, and so Gary really has that same sensibility, and I think that comes across in Let the Guitar Do the Talking.